week of workouts for you guys to do at home, either with or without equipment. Today is going to be a really good one. We've got some overhead squats with a dumbbell if you have equipment at home. We haven't done these yet, but they are definitely tough, especially if you have any sort of shoulder mobility issues. If you have a little bit stiff shoulders or flexibility issues, this is going to be a tough movement for you. So when I talk about the coaching in the video, make sure you really pay attention to all the little things, because those mechanics definitely help. And I would actually go lighter than you normally would go. If you have a couple of different sets of dumbbells at home, go ahead, start off with a lighter load. You're going to be definitely grateful for that lighter load, especially as your shoulders start to get warm. So the workout is 10, 9, 8, 6, just kidding, there's a 7 in there. You can tell it is definitely Monday for me. 10 down to 1. Oh my gosh, 10 down to 1. Overhead squats on the right arm, V-ups, overhead squats on the left arm, and then dumbbell weighted roll-ups. So we'll talk about all of those movements in the video today. If you do not have equipment at home, you're gonna be doing wall squats. That's gonna be facing the wall. V-ups. You'll be doing jump squats and then roll-ups without any weight. So we've got lots of options for you to do today. Make sure you know how to count from 10 down to 1. That will definitely help in this workout. And I'm so excited you're here with me, and let's get started. All right, guys, so first we're gonna talk about the overhead squat. In our workout, you're gonna do one set on only your one arm, so only the right arm first, and then you'll do your V-ups, and then you'll continue on with the left arm. So you will not switch sides on the squat during the workout until you get through those V-ups or get through the roll-ups. So make sure you're aware of that. When you're doing this squat, a couple things. We remember that our feet are a little bit wider than our hips, our chest is nice and tall, and our butt and hips are going to sink back in our squat. Now, when you're holding one dumbbell overhead, it's going to be pretty tough to maintain the knees back. The biggest thing that's going to happen is in this movement, you act like a seesaw. So when I tell you to get your knees back, usually your chest and your arm drops forward. When you try to pull your arm and your chest back, usually your knees shoot forward. So our goal is to keep both back, both your arm back over your shoulder and your knees back behind your toes for this movement. Like I said, it's going to be pretty tough for those of you with shoulder flexibility issues, so make sure you start a little bit lighter in this workout. So your dumbbell is going to be up overhead. Now remember, anytime our dumbbell is overhead, we've been talking about this in our videos, our bicep is to the ear, and you're really pressing tall on that weight so that chest stays nice and tall. Your bicep is to that ear. Now your feet are in your squat stance. I'm going to turn to the side a little bit. That chest is going to stay nice and tall. You can have your other hand out for balance. It's up to you. And you're going to drop down to the bottom of that squat, trying to keep that dumbbell over your shoulder without it coming forward or without bending your arm, okay? So chest is tall, all the way down, all the way up into that squat, okay? And then you'll switch arms after your V-ups. So that is the dumbbell overhead squat. All right, guys, next we're gonna just review the V-up. We've done this a lot in our workout, so you should feel very comfortable with this. If you need to scale the V-up, we're gonna go one leg only today, and I'll show you what that looks like. Make sure in your V-ups you maintain a good hollow body, okay? When you keep that good hollow body position, you wanna think of yourself like a banana. Your lower back is pressed firmly to the ground, your upper back is off the ground, and your hands or feet are off the ground as well. What you don't want is to collapse after every V-up. You want to maintain that good hollow body for the most bang for your buck on this movement, okay? So in our V-up, hands and feet are going to come up and meet in the middle of that V, right? Touching your toes, trying to keep your legs straight. If you need to scale, one leg goes down, coming up and touching that toe. I would do half on one side, switch, half on the other side. Okay, that's a really great way to scale and still work those abs, I promise. All right, next in our workout is going to be our roll-up. So one thing you want to think about in this roll-up is it actually may be a little bit easier with your dumbbell. The dumbbell can act as a counterbalance to help you come up off the ground. I'm going to show you a couple times without any weight, and then I'm going to add the weight in so you can see both, and you can do both if you need it. If rolling up is not in your toolbox and it's not something your body feels comfortable doing, let's go ahead and do a sit-up, or you can even do a weighted sit-up with that dumbbell on your chest, okay? So I'm gonna start doing the roll-up. When you do this roll-up, a couple things you wanna think about. You wanna keep your feet together or crossed, okay? When your feet are crossed, it's a little bit easier to get up because it allows a little bit more flexibility in those legs. When those feet are flat, it's a little bit harder unless you've got some really flexible hips, okay? So in a roll-up, your chest is gonna stay tall. You're gonna start standing. You're gonna come down to the ground. You're gonna roll backwards, and then you're gonna stand tall with those feet. You can use your arms as a little bit of momentum. If you're gonna cross your legs, again, that's gonna be a little bit easier. You're gonna come back, roll back, and you're gonna cross your legs to stand tall, and then uncross to go back down. When you're using a weight, like I said, it acts as a little bit of a counterbalance. You can hold it any way you feel comfortable as long as you don't hit yourself in the face when you roll backwards, okay? You're gonna come down, roll backwards, and then you're gonna use your weight to help you stand up. Again, you can do a flat foot or a crossed foot. It's up to you. Whatever feels more comfortable, okay? So that's the roll up. All right, guys, next we're going to talk about our wall squat. This is going to be in the non-equipment version of today's workout. We do this a lot in class for squat therapy. It's a really great way to get the shoulders and the thoracic and the entire upper back really stretched out, plus perfect your normal air squat. We use the wall as a tool, so our knees, again, don't go too far forward over our toes, and it allows us to keep our chest tall. So a couple things before I turn towards the wall. One, you want to keep your hands inside the parameters of your feet. So what I don't want is you going against the wall with those hands really wide, okay? I want those hands up and keeping your biceps close to your ears, inside the feet, okay? Next, try not to touch the wall. It's easy in this position to kind of lean against the wall with our hands. Your goal in this workout is to keep your hands off the wall and to keep your arms as straight as possible. Our lower body is doing nothing different than what we do in an air squat out on the ground, okay? Our feet are a little bit wider than our hips, and our goal is to be as close to the wall as we can. As you get better at the wall squat, you'll be able to scoot closer and closer. As you're just getting started, go ahead and stay further back, okay? It gives us a little bit of room in our upper body, and you won't have to lean against the wall. So in this wall squat, hands are up, biceps to the ears, feet are a little bit wider than the hips, toes are pointed out. We're gonna drop down into the bottom of that squat, keeping that chest tall, not touching the wall with our hands, keeping it up, and then standing. If that was easy, step forward a little bit. If that was tough and you were buckling forward, go ahead and step back a little bit, okay? So the wall squat will be facing the wall without touching it, being as close as you can. Eventually, you'll get to where, hopefully, you can put your toes on the wall and still maintain that good squat position. Good luck. All right, guys, next we're going to talk about the jump squat. I've had a lot of videos talking about our air squat, making sure our knees stay back, making sure we're on our heels and our chest stays tall. All of that is super important in our jump squat. We want to make sure that in our jump squat, we're not going forward to our toes, okay? Anytime we're in our toes or our knees fall over our toes, we put our knees in a compromised position, okay? So you really, really want to make sure you're back in those heels for this jump squat. Your jump does not have to be up towards the ceiling. It can be a small jump, but you do want to see air underneath the feet, okay? Chest is tall, coming down into that squat and getting a good jump every single time. Always feel free to take that jump out. If the jumping hurts your knees or your body's not able to do that, you can just do a regular air squat.